Tonight on The Edge, we're following a news alert from Royal Oak. Police there are investigating a serious crash involving a vehicle and a pedestrian. This happened in Woodward, an 11 Mile. We're working to get more information on the victim's condition right now. We'll bring it to you just as soon as we get it.
Also tonight, a news alert out of Oakland County. A violent crash involving a Michigan State trooper. Now, this is the scene on northbound I-75 near Sashabaw Road in Clarkston. We're told the trooper made a traffic stop, arresting a driver for being impaired behind the wheel. That driver was handcuffed and belted into the passenger side front seat of the cruiser when a Dodge Durango struck the patrol car. We're told the driver of the Durango was only 16 years old. The trooper and the handcuffed driver were taken to the hospital with several cuts. The trooper may have broken his arm. The teen was not injured. Also tonight, a violent encounter on 8 Mile. A shooting claims the lives of 2 people.
One of those victims was on Fox 2 just last summer after getting shot in that same spot. Fox 2's Jessica Dubé has been following this story all afternoon and evening long. She joins us now with the latest.
Rupin, Sarah, and I met 64-year-old Clayton Willis out here off 8 Mile back in July. He had been shot, targeted. At that time, he survived. When we came back out here today, we saw the flashing lights, all the police cars, and the sliver of 8 Mile where he was every day. And then we saw his wheelchair. Unfortunately, this time he had been shot and didn't survive.
And I hope and pray that this never happened to me again.
Those prayers went unanswered.
2 lives are lost for nothing.
If you know 8 Mile near the Southfield on Detroit's west side, you know this man, a double amputee, a panhandler, same spot every day.
You watched the news last night? I was the one.
Back in July, he was shot, a graze to his neck. That's where we learned he's a 64-year-old veteran with a name, Clayton Willis.
I don't bother nobody. Like I said, I'm just out here to keep my bills paid.
Lost both of his legs to frostbite in 2000, stroke within the last couple of years, giving him use of just one of his hands. Remember that for later. He claimed this sliver of 8 Mile as his own, even out there hours after being shot the first time.
Why would you mess with a handicapped person that ain't got no leg? You know I can't do nothing.
It's chilling playing that back, an empty wheelchair, Clayton's wheelchair, on a blustery winter Wednesday surrounded by police. It's hard to sift through what happened at this point. Homicide investigators say the black Charger pulled up. The working theory at this point, that driver had a gun. Words were exchanged between the driver and Clayton. A shot was fired, then a struggle for the gun. Even in Clayton's physical state, he fought back. 5 or 6 rounds went off, killing them both. The driver dead on scene. Clayton later at the hospital.
He was very respectful and very grateful for the things that we gave him. You know, I see him all the time. This is my route. So, you know, he was a good guy.
Last summer, Detroit police told us he was one of 4 panhandlers between May and July that had been shot at or threatened with violence in that specific area. They suspected then it was a turf war, but that the suspect was not even a panhandler. It went unsolved. That theory could fit here too.
In my interactions with him, he didn't bother anybody. He just was hanging out. He wasn't aggressive.
Most panhandlers, they not. All they want to do is eat, sleep, and be somewhere warm.
The last word in this story goes to Clayton, referred to as the victim by Detroit police.
The Lord on my side. Jesus watches me. I pray every time I come out here.
Even us at Fox 2 knew Clayton well. The photographer I'm working with tonight, Brian, gave him Christmas Eve dinner. Now, police, what they're looking for at this point are witnesses out here. As I said, he's out here every day. Everyone knew him. It's a busy intersection. They're looking for anybody that saw something. I'm also told they've pulled some video assets for some of the buildings. Not sure if it's great quality video, but anything that might shed some light onto what happened out here this afternoon. Reporting live on Detroit's west side, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
Yeah, so sad. You see this person who gave his life to this country and then ended up in such dire straits on the streets, but still was a spirit that people like to see. You mentioned it. I know I've seen him so many times. This was a familiar face to so many that will sorely be missed by people who drive by that area on a daily basis.
And he was very open about his story and his situation. He said he made some bad decisions in the past, but he was out here by choice. Doesn't sound like he has much family. He did have some kind of home and shelter, but came out here, as you said, just to pay his bills.
Well, we certainly will be thinking of him in the meantime, and we hope that they get far with this investigation, at least to try to put these pieces together. Jessica Dupneck for us live tonight. Thank you. All new tonight, a Detroit rapper has been charged with killing his estranged wife, a well-known advocate for domestic violence survivors.
The father of 49-year-old Kelly Mays confirms that she was killed at her Westland home on January 7th. Jimmy Kent Brown, known as rapper Super MC, turned himself into Westland police after he allegedly killed his wife. Brown was arraigned tonight, charged with first-degree murder, and was denied bond. We're told the couple had been living apart for the last year. Mays started helping other women who suffered domestic abuse after she escaped a violent relationship in 2010. She married Brown 5 years later.
This is about an 11-year-old child who was out front playing, and I'm hopeful that, that would tug at the hearts of folks and say, if I got anything or I know anything, I'm going to do everything I can to bring justice to this family.
Detroit police and activist groups spending the afternoon on an east side neighborhood looking for information that could lead them to a child killer. 11-year-old Latrell Mines was shot while playing outside of his cousin's home on Beaconsfield on Sunday night. He later died from his injuries. Police are hoping a home security system in the neighborhood will lead them to a suspect vehicle and eventually an arrest.
We're getting our first look at the man accused of fleeing police, driving the wrong way on the lot, and then killing 2 innocent people. 35-year-old Angel Melendez Ortiz was arraigned this afternoon on second-degree murder from his hospital bed. He was injured during Saturday's crash that killed 45-year-old Ryan Ambrosia and his wife, 43-year-old. Her name is Jen. The Farmington Hills couple leaves behind 6 kids under the age of 9. We've learned during today's hearing Melendez Ortiz had numerous bench warrants, including armed robbery and failing to appear in court multiple times. He was given a $1.5 million bond. All right, turning to our winter weather. We were teased earlier this week, but then our first significant snow system expected to move on in by Friday.
Yeah, it's coming up, and it's followed by frigid temperatures. Meteorologist Stephanie Mead joins us tonight with the latest path of this snowfall coming our way.
Yeah,
Stephanie.
For sure. Yeah, we have a lot going on over the next couple of days. This first system here, quick hitter, I think should be in and out by early afternoon tomorrow. Now, this is going to give us some minor accumulations, and then the bigger system that a lot of us are talking about arrives Friday night into Saturday. Now, we still have a few little minor details to iron out with this one because it has a very similar path as that last system, and we'll get to that here in a few minutes. Otherwise, some heavier bands of snow setting up over parts of Wisconsin and Illinois. This next system will move through overnight and through the early morning hours tomorrow morning. For the morning drive is when we'll see a lot of this steady snow, potential for some heavier bands to set up here and there. So the morning drive could get a little bit sloppy. I do think we're looking at some of that heavier, wetter snow. So not necessarily going to accumulate on top of roadways or on top of surfaces, but just know you could be dealing with some slushy snow out on the roadways for some locations, especially untreated roadways for your morning drive. And by the end of the afternoon, I think we're looking at 1 inch. Some locally higher amounts could see 2 inches in some neighborhoods, especially further north of Detroit. Otherwise, temperatures tomorrow will be in the upper 30s to near 40s, so it's going to help melt some of that snow. Otherwise, accumulations remain very minor through the day tomorrow. Next system arrives Friday night. We do have a winter storm watch just outside of the metro area, so it's not even including counties that butt up against downtown Detroit. The reason why we're not included in that winter storm watch is because the system kind of has that same track where we could potentially see a bit more mixing, allowing some of that snowfall accumulation to not be as high as where we see that winter storm watch. So central and western parts of the state, you could accumulate upwards of 6+ inches of snow for here across the metro area, and even surrounding areas might be a struggle to get to that 6-inch mark. Otherwise, starts off as snow first during the afternoon hours on Friday. We could see a brief transition over to rain, maybe a light wintry mix, but as that colder air spills in on the back edge of this area of low pressure, we're looking at it transitioning to complete snow, and we could see some accumulations out of that as we head through the day on Saturday and potentially on Sunday as well. And it looks like a good bulk of the accumulation will be in central and northern parts of the state, upwards of around 8. There could be some isolated higher amounts, areas north of us here. Temperatures right behind that get a lot colder. We'll be in the teens on Sunday. So many tailgaters for the Lions game. Bundle up, and we're going to remain in the teens for most of next week. Rup and Taryn.
Oh, boy. All right. Thanks, Steph. Well, if you've been looking for a home, but prices are just out of your budget, chances are you are not alone.
A new report says prices for single-family homes in Metro Detroit jumped up faster in 2023 than any other large metropolitan area in the country. The city saw a 9.22% jump in prices, according to property analytics firm CoreLogic, the largest jump in the entire country, even beating up Miami at 8.3%. Real estate experts tell us several factors contribute to the price jump.
We have first-time home buyers that want to buy. We've got, people growing older. We're finding the demand is greater than what the people that really want to put their house on the market.
If you're planning to buy a home this year, experts urge you to figure out what exactly you're looking for and find the town that has all of those things. Well, another great part of living in Michigan right now are football teams.
Yes, today U of M announced its plans to properly celebrate its national football title. A parade will take place in Ann Arbor on Saturday beginning at 4 p.m. Fans are encouraged to line up along South University and State Street with plans to end at Schembechler Hall. However, we're told that a parade is weather dependent. At 7 p.m., a celebration will take place at Chrysler Center. Tickets will be offered to season ticket holders and donors tomorrow. The remaining tickets will be offered to the public on Friday.
It's clear to me tonight that there isn't a path for me to win the nomination.
With that announcement, there is one less candidate in the Republican presidential race. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie ending his campaign during an appearance in New Hampshire. He says going forward, his mission is to make sure Donald Trump does not become president of the United States ever again. Well, it is the final Republican debate before the Iowa caucus.
Yes, tonight, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley went head-to-head, hoping to gain the support of voters. But the hostility between the two is growing.
We don't know what she promised them, and she made millions of dollars doing that. Now they're the ones that are funding her campaign. So we need to stand up for the people and not bow down to woke corporations. And we know Nikki Haley will cave to the woke mob every single time.
It's a shame that we had to put up DeSantisLies.com. Honestly, if he would spend as much time trying to prove why he thinks he would be a good president, he would be doing a lot better in the polls. The reason that he spent and blown through $150 million and gone down in the polls is because he spent more time trying to lie about me than he is about telling the truth about himself.
I think it's very instructive about how Nikki Haley sees the world.
I think I have the floor.
Political advertisements as like that's as important as the kids and their education. What is more important here? She's saying somehow that that's not as important.
It's Governor Haley's time. Go ahead.
I think I hit a nerve.
Former President Trump has not participated in a debate during this election cycle and once again decided to host a town hall, which aired tonight on Fox News.
You said this week in an interview that if there's an economic crash, that you hope it happens now. Yeah. That you don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
I don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
You're not saying you're hoping for a crash, just to be clear.
No, I think this. I think the economy is horrible, except the stock market's going up. And I think the stock market's going up because I'm leading Biden in all of the polls, every poll.
Trump still leads polls among Republicans. The Iowa caucus takes place on Monday.